weld near glass. The sparks coming off.
Yeah.
They're so hot they'll stick to the glass.
Oh, okay.
So
and then mark it.
You can scrape them off with a blade, but it always leaves a little pock mark in the glass.
I noticed that on my camera lens.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Right, that's the original top of the door, and that line there went all the way up. If you look on the other door, you'll see it just goes straight up to there. So I've had to put this swage in to marry to that swage and that swage there. So I cut the top of the door off. I made this swage. Now I want to put this top of this door back on. It's got all the old welds underneath, so I need to clean all of those off, probably trim it back a little bit. What you want to try and do is weld it right on the radius there, so when that, you can grind it off, then grind it off that way flat, then grind it off that way flat, and then you can put a nice radius on it.
Okay.
And that will hold the top of the door in nice and solid then, but I need to clean, like I say, all the rubbish off the bottom. See those lip welds, and then probably trim it back a little bit just to get a nice edge to weld to. And that should be okay. Be alright, because I can lift it up like that to fill that gap up a little bit, you see?
Okay.
And then I can pull it back down and nail it back into the ash frame. I don't think it's going to get hot enough to catch that on fire at all, so what I'm going to do is just put a series of tacks along it and then nail it in, because I'm not sure what we're doing with the door frames yet, the window frames.
Okay.
So in case I have to take that off, I'll just get a nice shape on it, tack it all together.
Is there any glass in the door at all?
No, they're like just canvas like this.
Oh, okay.
With
fold down.
Well, they sort of fold around. I'm not really sure what they do, to be honest with you. The bloke who owns the car came down, and he wasn't really, because he hasn't had it on the road for God knows how many years. Do you know what I mean? That's good. Once it backs down. Right, I'm going to trim this up. Right, that'll do for that door for the moment. Right, we're going to take that door off. Cut the top off of it, pull all the wood out of it, and then try and remake it all like I've done the other side. Right, now we can see what's holding it all together. Not a lot by the looks of it. You've got to take all the wood out, otherwise you catch it all on fire.
So what would be the plan here then?
They've skinned that door round, look. It's not actually connected to anything.
Okay.
So what I'll do is take all the wood out. I'll repair the top first. You can see where the original swage was, look. Yeah. So we'll make that swage up, we'll put all this back in, set it up on the wood, and then put some tack welds on that. Just and it'll strengthen all the door up. That's the general idea, but until we've done that top bit, there's not a lot of point, so you might as well just chomp that out and do it. That's that. Ooh, nice welding. Yeah, that isn't doing anything, you see. So we can cut that down. I'll put the wood back in and we'll see what the door fits in the hole like. And let's chop the top of that off. And then we can flip it over and see if it's the same shape as the other side. Because you want to try and keep them the same shape if you can. That's lined up with the back. That end is a good 1/4 of an inch different, which I kind of thought it was because the wood only came to here. So this is basically a complete remake of the door because it's bollocks. I've seen better days. Okay, right, so now I've got a swage to that, so that will probably be enough material on that. Well, we're looking at about 30mm, which is probably where I've marked it, but you want to make sure. 30mm. Time that's got a radius on it, that'll be alright. So we only want to go in about there. Right, so now if we chop that off to there, that'll get rid of most of that shitty weld underneath. And then we'll just lay that over. Then I can fold an angle up.
Yeah.
That'll give us our top return, and then we can lay that back on the top like we did on the other side. That's the idea anyway. Be about right. Sometimes it's easier just to start those with the pliers. Just gives it a little lead, you know what I mean? Yeah, the difference in the note when you're hitting it.
Yeah.
It's when you know it's all the same shape.
Okay.
So it'll all be loose and wobbly, and then when it hits hard, yeah, that sharp note, you know, that's all. If you come up to here, it isn't done so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty much bang on there, isn't it? We're trying to match that shape there, you see. By the time I've put my angle in there, should be about right, yeah?
Yeah.
Be alright, still got a nice bit of curve in it. Right, we've got to make an angle now. 28 inches will do us. And fold at about 11mm. We want 11mm upstairs, we said, didn't we? 11mm upstairs, so we want to fold it that way. It's about the right height, that'll be good. Okay, now we need to put a bend in it. So obviously that isn't flat. If you try and weld that to there, it isn't going to work. See that gap in the middle?
All right. Yeah.
So we've got to shrink this down, and that'll pull it into line.
So, so one of the questions that came out was your favourite engine. What would be your favourite engine?
Oh, blimey. Bugattis are pretty special. Sort of honed from one block of aluminium, you know.
What makes them different than any other?
It's just totally different engineering. Like the blocks weren't cast; they're machined out of a solid lump of aluminium.
Okay.
And everything's engine to what I call engine turned. You know, like the Buick dashboard was. It's all like that. Yeah, they're pretty special 1930s Bugatti engines. There's loads of them though, isn't there? I mean, Porsche Flat 12 917 engine's pretty incredible. They had to build 30 of them or 35 for homologation for Le Mans, and they didn't even start any of them. They all went first.
Really?
Crack, you know. Yeah, pretty special stuff.
And what about petrol and diesel? How do you feel about diesel engines?
I've never really had a lot to do with them, to be honest with you.
What's the main difference then?
We don't have spark plugs on a diesel. There's no spark plugs, it just works on, you have a glow plug first of all, and it's compressing the fuel,
okay,
atomising the oil, diesel oil, and then its own temperature keeps them going. I haven't had a lot to do with diesels really, because it's a bit of a blind art to me. Right, so we've got our short side down. Okay, so we want to start bending that to match the line of that, which is not very much at all, but it just makes your life easier. So we want to stretch that side. See it putting a curve in it?
Yeah.
That'll be okay. Try and give it a little tweak back out. That's about it, isn't it? Right, we'll weld that in now. Pleased with that, that'll be okay. Sweet. Right, now we can fully weld it. Little warp and twist, just bash it around. See it warping it now?
Yeah.
We're putting heat in it, but it'll all come back, you just bash it all around, you know? You could do this without warping it. If you literally did two spots, left it to cool completely, two spots, but for what we're doing it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just bend it back to where you want to go. Right. Right, should have straightened that edge out. It should be somewhere near. That'll be alright. Trying to set the shit beating out of it. Good enough, mate. Right, I'll clean that edge up, and once I put the wood back in, see I can hit that against the wood.
Yeah.
And that'll hold all that into the right line then. It's got to roll down a bit, so you can bash it all around wherever you like. That'll roll in there. Take that little bit of corner out. That'll be alright.
Next week on the workshop.
Set your ring gear, set your pinion gear, sorry, with a tension on it, and when that is set at what it should be, so if you look up here, look, Jaguar 1938, 12 to 15 pounds. So you set that probably at 13.5, something like that, on that number scale, look, 13.25, and then when you've got your pinion gear the right tension, that just moves like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you know your pinion gear's the right tension.